The oversized bag is trending for all of 2024, but honestly, I never stopped carrying them. Hi everyone, and welcome back to my channel. If you're new here, my name is Kyla, and I make custom designs, do pattern hacks, home decorating, and a whole lot more. In today's video, I'm making some of that whole lot more. I'm making an oversized denim handbag. I don't know if you all have been watching some of the fashion channel fashion shows for the fall season, but oversized handbags and tote bags are everywhere. I've made some oversized handbags in the past, and they're probably one of the easiest bags to make, I feel, especially if you stay with a cotton fabric or woven like denim, which is what I'm going to use today, because you don't need an industrial style machine. You can just use your regular sewing machine for it. So I'm using Vogue pattern 7701, and unfortunately it's discontinued, but I did find it out there on the internet. eBay, Amazon, Etsy, it's floating around a few places. So check it out if you do find it. It's a good one, and it's a good one to keep in your stash. All right, let's get started. I've got all of my main body pieces of the bag cut out. There's the front and back outer shell, the lining, and the interfacing. The straps for the top and the interfacing to give it a little bit of stiffness. The side and bottom panels that they're calling the gusset, out of the main fabric, the lining, and the interfacing as well. And lastly, the top section where the zipper will be applied on the inside. I've got the outer layer, more interfacing, and the lining as well. So it's basically sets of 3 in every section of the purse. And of course, I can't forget my elastic that I'm going to use for my pockets. I decided not to put zipper pockets inside the bag because even though I really appreciate the detail and taking the extra step to put that in a lot of purses, I really need to get inside my purse quickly, and most of the time I don't even close the zipper. I just leave it open. So I'd rather just have cinched pockets. That way I can put my keys in, or my phone, or a lip gloss or something that I need to get my hands on quickly without opening and closing a zipper inside the bag. And this pattern came from my days of working at Minnesota Fabrics, and then they changed their name to Hancock Fabrics, and you can see that I got it on sale at $4.99, which is interesting to me because now every time a Vogue pattern seems to go on sale, it's usually marked down the lowest at $5.99, but I guess that's inflation, right? I wish that this pattern was brought back out of their vault and that they would reproduce it again, because these are designs that never really go out of style. They just keep coming back every year, made out of different materials by different brands, even some luxury brands. So I don't know. If you're listening out there, Vogue or Simplicity Creative Group, maybe you can bring this one back, even if it's just for a limited amount of time, because it's a good one. I chose a heavyweight interfacing because I really wanted to give a lot of stiffness to the bag. That way it will retain its shape when I have items inside of it. So I chose a heavyweight sew-in interfacing that I did a stay stitch on all of my pieces. Here's the gusset that goes around the outside of the bag, and the straps, the bodice of the bag, and the zipper top. So now I can start pinning both sides of the zipper in place. Get that stitch down and then do my top stitch in contrasting thread. I purposely chose a zipper longer in size than the actual length of the top flaps because I wanted to be able to stitch around the zipper pulls on each end. This way, they won't be in the way of the presser foot on the machine. I've got them pinned in both sides, and now I can stitch them in place. I'm pinning the gusset to the outer layer of the purse, and I just want to show you that I've made multiple clips. You can kind of see them in there, just to help and ease of pinning the gusset around this curved edge. And that'll also help it lay flatter as well. Now that I've got it completely pinned, I'll stitch around the outer layer and then attach the other side of the purse to the other side of the gusset, pin and stitch around that layer as well. And then I'll repeat that step for the lining. Now that I've got my pocket stitched at the top, to make my casing, I can feed the elastic through. And when it's this small, I like to make a very small incision by folding the elastic, making a little snip, and then feeding a tiny little bobby pin through, because I find that the safety pins will open up sometimes and then get caught inside of the casing that I've made. So these stay smooth because they're just rounded on the edges and you can just feed it through with no problem. So I've got the elastic through the casing, and now that it's almost completely to the end, here's my bobby pin coming out. I'll stitch off both ends just to stop the elastic from going through any further because I don't want it to come back out. And then I can pin it in place with the lining on the purse. I took the time to press about a ½ inch on each side of the pocket and the bottom as well. And I brought the corners in just so that I could have those nice little points that you see on pockets. It's easier when the corner is just done for you. Here, I'll show you here with fold one side in, fold your corner, and then bring it over, and it's got that nice point. Let me zoom in here. It's got that nice point at the corner, and then you can just stitch around, turn, pivot, and then continue to stitch up to the top. So I decided to put pockets on both sides. I've got my one here that I can stick keys in, And then this one, I made a little section off in the middle so that I can slide my phone in one side and a lip gloss or lipstick in the other. Now I can attach the gusset, stitch it around the edge, attach my top side, and connect it to the outer layer. Now that I've got the lining stitched up, I'm going to swap out my 7511 needle for my 9014, just because I think I need to go to a heavier needle to accommodate all the layers of denim. I've got about, let's see, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 layers to go through, including the zipper tape, just to do an edge stitch and the contrasting thread down the side, both sides of the zipper. I also had to swap out my pressure foot because I need to stay close to the coils, so I had to put my zipper foot back in so that I can edge stitch right next to the coils. This is the top strap of the bag, and I've started turning it inside out. I left the side open just to get my hand in because it's easier for me to pull it inside out when the fabric is thick like this from the side. If you close it entirely up and try to pull it inside out, you'll be struggling. Or you could press one of the sides and then just match it up, but sometimes it may not always match up as well. So it's just easier for me to leave an opening and turn one side first and then turn the other side. What I also like to do is take jewelry pliers and grab the fabric on the inside and just pull it, and that will help bring it through as well. You can see it's starting to come up now. Now that I've got both sides pulled to the outside, I can press that side flat by folding this in, and then I'll be able to top stitch. Here's the top stitching done on both sides. And now I can go about placing the strap onto the top part. Almost there. I'm trying to stitch as close as I can to the inside of the zipper tape for the lining so that when I turn it inside out, it's connected by the machine. Okay, I've got the lining attached, and now all I have to do is close up the bottom and am done. I love the simplicity of this bag and just the shape in general. Sometimes you want something that's just no fuss and it's just gets you from point A to point B. So as you can see, I put a little keychain on the zipper pull, and it's also cute with a scarf attached to the handle as well. I love how this turned out. This is the first time that I've made this bag using the same fabric for the handle and the actual bodice part. When I've made it in the past, I've used faux fur, brocade, and vinyl, and definitely made it a little bit harder for myself. But now that I've made it a few times, I've simplified it. Really the only changes that I made to the pattern were adding an extra pocket on the inside and leaving a part of the lining open so that I can insert my hand and stitch the zipper tape from the inside instead of hand stitching it like I did in the past. Live and learn, right? That's what sewing is about. Well, if you've enjoyed today's video, thanks so much for being here. Please comment, like, and subscribe, and I will see you all in the next one. Bye, everyone.